this thing goes live on YouTube, and then we can get started if you guys are ready.
Judge, just information, can we do Hardeman last? We gotta go get him at finish the female.
And then we can get started if you guys
Yes.
Just
okay. Uh,
you ready, sir?
yes, I am.
Over this way.
Were you going to tell me something else other than we're going to do Mr. Hardeman last?
All right, that was it. That was it, y'all.
Okay. So we don't need. Sorry.
Having a female set up while I'm doing it.
Mr. Crowley, are you ready also?
Yes, y'all.
Okay. So I'll begin. This is the first time before the magistrate court. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm not here to carry you out the case or to defend the case. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses and authorized to set bail, schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of the attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say may be used against you if your case goes to trial. So please don't discuss the case. During this and all proceedings, you have the following rights: the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation of misdemeanor, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence on defense, the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail, and the bonds may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bond, someone will have to pay a fee for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged. It is usually based on the percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property will need to have a net gain in amount that is at least 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on the bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post a bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled for a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case, it will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. The judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive the right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first about whether you waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you gave of your new court date. I need everyone now to raise their hand. Do you swear or affirm that you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're gonna start with the ladies first.
Yes, sir. Get Calhoun. Calhoun.
Yes, sir.
State your name to the judge, state your name.
Ms. Calhoun,
Yes.
you've been charged with one count of violation of the Controlled Substance Act. Bond is gonna be set at $5,000 for this offense. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 7th.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date. It's gonna be set for April 7th
Okay.
at 8:30 in the morning, and that's a hearing like we're having today. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment, or do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, or you gonna represent yourself?
A court appointed.
Okay. You qualify, ma'am? You appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Carter,
Yeah.
one count theft by and one count criminal trespass. I've set the bond for both of these offenses at $2,000, so that's a bond $2,000.
What'd you say?
I've set your total bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can pay that?
Yes.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for at 8:30 in the morning. It's gonna be over Zoom like we're having today. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer yourself?
Court appointed.
I'm sorry, court appointed?
Yes, sir.
You qualify, Ms. Carter. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
You're free to go back.
Thank you.
Give me your name,
Brittany Eddie.
ma'am. You've been charged with one right. The bond is going to be set at $3,000.
Sir,
You've been charged with one count of striking a facade. I'm setting the bond at $1,500. You've charged with obstruction.
Judge, you breaking up, sir. Judge Gardner, you breaking up.
Would you try to lower the volume a little bit? Because I'm hearing myself on the feedback.
Okay, try it again, Judge.
Okay. One count of striking. The bond is going to be set at $1,000. You've been charged with one count of obstruction. The bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that. One count of simple battery. The bond is also set at $3,000. And driving under the influence of alcohol, and the bond is going to be set at $5,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, man? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint you. You're going to have a preliminary date that's going to be April. That date will get waived upon your bond. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
I wasn't the only person in the car. How am I the only one in jail?
I don't. The allegation is that
I wasn't even the one driving, but it's my car, so I understand. I take responsibility for letting someone else drive. But I wasn't the one that struck the fixed object or was driving under the influence. It was 3 people in my car, me and 2 other people. I'm confused.
the allegation of the officer is that you were the driver, and that's the allegation. If you were not, you've appointed a lawyer to represent. That lawyer will be able to help.
Okay. Thank you. I can't hear you.
I said, any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Miss Gill?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been hit and run, which is basically an accident, and improper. You're gonna have a total bond of $1,000.
You said 3,000?
3,500.
Yes.
Okay. Qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. We're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Miss Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Henderson, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. You can post that bond.
I'm sorry?
I'm setting the bond at $3,000. You can post that bond.
Yes,
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived on your. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh,
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
I said no.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer?
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Is that yes to hire your own lawyer?
Yes,
Okay, do you have any questions? Ma'am?
no.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Miss Hicks?
Yes, sir.
Miss Hicks, you've been charged with driving related offenses. Your total bond is gonna be $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th.
Can you say it again, please, sorry?
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Ms. I'm going to get a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions?
I'm just trying to get out of here, sir.
You'll be able to get out today.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you're go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Tell me your name, ma'am.
For sure.
You, ma'am, charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is set at $1,000.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
The bond is set at $1,000.
$1,000? $1,000? Okay.
Do you believe you can post that?
Yes.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bond. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, you're gonna represent yourself?
No.
Okay. If you have any questions for me. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Is it possible you said if I got a hold, if I post that bond?
I'm sorry, would you say that again?
Is it possible you can tell if I got a hold on my name?
I can't tell on my side, but the sheriff's department warrant check when they, and so they'll be able to tell you that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, you can go back. Have your name, ma'am?
My name is Ashley Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $4,000. You can post that bond?
Yes.
Your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Point of order.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, do you qualify? I'm going to appoint a lawyer representing you. You're gonna have a preliminary date of April 6th, but that date is gonna be when you're bonding out. There's also a provision that on the bond to stay away from taking up. Questions about that?
Yes, how is that possible? We are living in the same house and we are on the lease together.
So when a person is arrested and they're what is called a family violence incident, meaning you're in the same residence,
Mhm.
we put stay away provisions on because we don't want whatever led to your appearing before me up this evening.
Mhm.
That condition can get removed if Mr. Wood like, look, hey, left this water under the bridge. I'm okay with her coming back. All he needs to do is contact the Solicitor's office and
Yeah, contact who? I'm sorry.
the Solicitor General of Clayton County, the prosecutor who will prosecute this misdemeanor offense.
Okay.
Just let him know that he find has no problems and that provision will get lifted.
Okay.
You have any questions of the man?
No, that's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. No, she's before me. She's in. I'm Scott. All right.
Say your name.
Terry Scott. Yes, I can't hear nothing.
Okay, hold on until it quiets down a little bit. Okay, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. The bond is set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, but I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If I wasn't, will there be like time served?
If you're unable to post it,
If I am?
I can't answer that question directly. Most likely that will happen, but because I'm not the person who can make that decision, I can't, tell you what a person will do.
Okay.
This is a really low level, so people don't want to put you in jail on a driving on a suspended license offense. So if you're unable to post bond, it probably will get worked out because it is such a low level offense. But you should contact that are authorized to write bonds in Clayton County and just not sit in jail, just to sit in jail. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date. It's gonna be set for April 6th. That date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Scott, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer. Do you have any other?
No, sir.
Okay, free to go back.
How you doing, sir? Jamaica Thomas.
Good morning.
Come on.
Charge- I'm setting the bond at $5,000. You pay that bond, man?
Yes, sir.
I'm also putting a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Lorenzo Middlebrooks.
But not a problem.
And I'm also putting a stay away from Mr. Middlebrooks. Stay away from you.
Sounds great.
Okay? Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment lawyer?
I honestly don't even think I will need one because of the situation. I pretty much didn't do anything. They told me they locked me up because it was a family violence situation. But all the officers have been telling me that it's a possibility that it will be thrown out because I literally just got my ass beat. I'm sorry, sir. I literally just got beat up. So we can go ahead and try to do the court appointed attorney just in case.
Okay, you do qualify for the appointment.
Okay.
Now, if you decide you don't want to use the services of the lawyer, you can fire the lawyer.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. Do I have a court date?
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your.
Now, how far? Sorry, sir. How far down the line is that waiver going to be like?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
COVID times, things are changing.
Okay.
The lawyer negotiate your case. You don't have to be in court for the lawyer to be with you. So if things are the way that you've described them, lawyer can like dismiss before it ever gets to court.
Okay. And
Okay.
sir, I do have one more question. I'm a
Sure.
person with a lot of questions. I'm in the process of moving. We were staying together, so that address on file is not my address. I pretty much don't have an address right now. So how would my court papers be sent to me?
So make sure you do a forwarding of your address, number one, right? So when you get your new address, make sure that your mail that's going to the old address gets forwarded.
Okay.
Second thing you do is make sure you speak to the lawyer about a change in your address.
Okay.
And the lawyer can submit paperwork that notifies the courts of your new address.
Now, how would a lawyer contact me? Because I'm going to get bonded out.
So the law firm is listed in Holt, L-E-R, second word H-O-L-T. They're gonna get the paperwork today.
Okay.
If you don't hear from them in a couple days, you can contact their office
Okay.
and let them know that you need to speak to a lawyer. That's the lawyer that represents you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Yes, sir. That's all my questions. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, man.
All right, have a great day. Tatiana Williams.
Miss Williams, you've been charged of obstructing an officer. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond?
Say it again, honey?
Bond amount is $3,000. Do you believe you can pay that?
Yes, sir.
You want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Miss Williams. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 6th. But that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive new court information in the mail.
Okay.
You have,
No, sir.
okay, you can do that.
All right, that's it for the female, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Y'all stand for.
On the mail side.
All right, we'll have Gatson first.
Okay. Mr. Gass, you've been charged with a count of simple battery and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond for both of these offenses at $3,000, so you have a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
I've also put a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Laura Gadsden. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, Mr. Gadsden. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 6th. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Gadsden?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Golf.
Mr. Golphin,
Yes.
in charge of 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of interference with government property. I'm setting the bond for both of these offenses at $3,000, so you have a total bond of $6,000. You believe you can pay that bond, sir?
Not right now.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
Probably about anywhere between 2 and 3,000, possibly, or a little bit lower than that, maybe 1.
Okay, you qualify, Mr. Golphin. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Golphin?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
Hey, go. Hey, how y'all stand? Come on, go. Come on, come on.
Do you have your name?
Jose Gonzalez, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez, you've been charged with 2 driving-related offenses. These bonds are automatically set. So you're gonna have a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I think so.
Okay.
I might be able to.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please. Sir. Hey.
So it's, how much do you earn per month? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read your handwriting. How much do you earn per month?
3,000, 35, something like that.
Okay, you qualify, Mr. Mr. Gonzalez. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Not today, sir.
You're free to go back. You're free to go back, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Thanks, John.
Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 4 offenses. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I've set the bond at $10,000 for that. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I've set the bond at $10,000. And use or possession of drug-related object. I've set $1,500. So that's a total bond of $26,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I probably can't, sir.
Okay. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Jones. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 7th. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Kane? You gonna go with Jonathan Kane?
Mr. Kane, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault and 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property.
Yeah.
You have a total bond of $5,000. You're gonna also have a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Tanera Hamilton.
Yes, but we own the same place. We live in the same place, and we already did a LOP, paper. LOP, I believe is what it's called.
I don't know what LOP means. What was the paperwork for?
They told us to come up and fill out a LOP, like a lack of prosecution or something like that. And both of us had to fill out the paper and get it signed, and we did that. And yeah.
Okay, so basically she's saying she doesn't want to pursue this prosecution.
Yeah, either one of us do.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I had it.
So what's gonna happen? Has that been filed anyway?
Yeah, I was coming up here to file because both of us was out of town when the so-called thing happened. So once I came up here to put that paperwork in, then they came and told me, put my things behind my back, and I came.
Okay. So what I would say to you, Mr. Kane, is that make certain that that paperwork gets properly filed.
Yeah, it got filed yesterday.
Okay. And that you keep a copy of it because this, what you're saying, it looks like this is going to possibly get dismissed.
Yes.
But the prosecutor does not always have to follow that. So
Yeah.
an unwilling victim, prosecutor may decide to prosecute it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Now, of course, that helps you and hurts their case, but just because she's done that doesn't mean it necessarily will be followed through. So you just have to make sure that you take the steps to protect yourself.
Okay.
So that you are not arrested later as this thing is getting worked out.
Yeah, but another thing, like I own my house, and I'm not from Georgia, so I have no family or anything like that down here for me to go anywhere else.
So, all I can tell you is to make sure that you take the steps to protect yourself. And if she doesn't want to prosecute, that's something for a different place at a different time.
Uh-huh.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
How much do you earn per month, Mr. Kane?
Not too sure. It goes up and down.
Okay, just give me like a rough ballpark.
About $4,000.
Okay. You're at the upper limit, but you still qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay.
As I said before, I believe I said that April 6th date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive new information. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Kane?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thanks. King, Corey King. Hey, let the cat go out the door. Don't go out the door.
Mr. King, you've been charged with 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 for that. You've been charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And possession of a felony amount of marijuana. And I'm setting the bond at $10,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $16,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, I'm gonna hire my own.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. King?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Corey Knight, William Knight.
Okay, Mr. Knight,
Yes, Your Honor.
you've been charged with a number of offenses. So you've been charged with obstructing an officer, and bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that. You've been charged with tampering with evidence. I'm setting the bond at $20,000 for that. There's a theft by taking count that I'm setting the bond at $20,000 for. You've been charged with driving a vehicle without a license. The bond is set at $1,000 for that. You've been charged with striking a parked vehicle. The bond is set at $1,500 for that. And there's a second count of obstructing an officer, and the bond is set at $3,000. So you're gonna have a total bond of $48,500. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? It broke up a little bit. Could you repeat that? Would you repeat that? It broke up. I couldn't hear your response.
Qualified, Your Honor.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Knight. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 7th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be over a Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Knight.
Yes, sir.
Next one. Next one.
Mix Wayne.
McSwain, you've been charged with a number of driving related offenses. Speeding, bond is going to be set at $1,500, reckless driving, $1,500. And then the next three are all set at $500, given wrong turn signal, driving permit violation, and open container violation. So you're going to have a total bond of $4,500. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you earn per month, Mr. McSwain?
Maybe about 1,200.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 6th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Middlebrook.
Mr. Middlebrooks, you've been charged with one count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000, and I've placed a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Jamerica Thomas. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 6th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Middlebrooks. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mark O'Neill, Patrick O'Neill. How you doing, y'all?
I'm doing well. Mr. O'Neill, I did not have any paperwork for you. So it just is showing on my side, it says wanted person located. So what I'm gonna do, Mr. O'Neill, is for you to step back and we're gonna deal with you at the end, okay?
Okay. Robinson. Yo, Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you've been charged with a number of drug-related offenses, and the bond is going to be denied at this point on those 4 charges. But I'm going to set a bond hearing date for April 2nd, and I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for April 7th. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer or representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I got hired counsel.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. O'Neill? I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson?
To April 2nd bond hearing,
Yes, sir.
and the 7th was
That's going to be the preliminary hearing date.
8:30, both of them.
Yes, sir. And you probably will get a bond set at that point. And your lawyer may be able to get it worked out before that date.
You said I probably will or won't?
Will.
Oh,
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
no, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Sim.
Hello, Your Honor.
All right, give me 1 second, sir. You can stay right there. I just need to send a message. Okay, thank you for your patience. Mr. Sims? Are you Mr. Sims?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Sims, you've been charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer and 1 count of tampering with evidence. I've set the bond for the tampering with evidence, $20,000, and obstructing an officer at $5,000. You're gonna have a total bond of $25,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 7th at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And that's gonna be over Zoom hearing like you're having here today. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment?
For a court-appointed lawyer, please, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Sims. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Turner. How you doing, sir?
How are you, Mr. Thomas?
No, this is Turner.
What's your name, sir?
Turner.
Mr. Turner, you have 3 warrants, and I've set the bond for each charge at $5,000. There's going to be a total bond of $15,000. There's 2 criminal trespass charges and 1 battery charge. I'm going to put a stay away provision to stay away from Yolanda Randolph. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
No, I don't have no way of posting the bond now, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, Mr. Turner. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 6th. If you're able to bond out, that date will get changed. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I just on that, note, I don't have nobody else, for that address that I keep going back, I don't have nothing, nobody else down here. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I just thought I'd let you know that on that note right there.
Okay, you're gonna have to stay away from that address for the time being until whatever is going on between you and Ms. Randolph gets cleared up, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Richard Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property. The bond is gonna be set at $2,000. Do you need to post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Thomas. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. I'm sorry, it's gonna be April 7th. And that date is gonna stay unless your lawyer decides to move it. Do you have any questions of me?
Sir?
Okay, you're free to go back.
Whatever you get into. Mr. Yu.
How you doing, sir?
All right, sir. 1 count of rape and 1 count of sexual battery. The bond is going to be denied at this stage. I can't set a bond on this offense. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date, April 7th at 8:30 in the morning. And I'm going to set a bond hearing date for April 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'll get my own lawyer.
I'm sorry?
I'll get my own lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
The date, you said the first one was April 2nd.
The first date is April 7th for preliminary hearing, and April 2nd, as in 2, the number 2, for a bond hearing. Okay? Any other questions, sir?
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Okay, Your Honor, so all you have left is, Hardeman is on his way down here. He had to get him from a different dorm, so you have 3, I guess you say 1 person located, 1 fugitive for justice. Daly is the fugitive for justice, O'Neill is the 1 person located, and Washington is the 1 person located.
Okay, let me see.
I believe Washington, his charges out of Chatham County, Savannah. O'Neill is out of Fulton County and Augusta. Oh, just Augusta. And Daly is out of Alabama.
Okay, he's out of Alabama. And Justin Howard is OTB.
Yeah, so you're gonna have Justin Hardeman. He's gonna be he got bonded out. Brittany Jackson, she got bonded out. Leah Bird got bonded out. Artist Melvin, I don't know how to say his last name, he got bonded out. Iris Williams got bonded out.
Okay, so I have Mr. Daly, that's a fugitive. Mr. Hardeman is coming down. And O'Neill, is he a fugitive also?
Yes, sir. Patrick O'Neill.
Okay, all I have a bond order from our side, but there was nothing in his paperwork. When I got the package this morning. Let me check again. I'm checking, just to make sure I didn't miss it.
SO 86 to Deputy Crawford.
You know, yeah, on the sheet that I got from the paperwork for Mr. O'Neill, it says JOW. Do you know what that means? His name is struck through and it says JOW.
No, sir, I don't know what that means. He said he got the one out of Augusta. And in our system, when I looked him up this morning, that's where he got brought in on as a wanted person located.
Okay. I saw that there were some people that already were getting placed on the calendar for tomorrow. Let me go back. Let me check tomorrow's calendar and see if he's been placed on that.
Okay. SO 86 to Deputy Crawford.
Okay. Let's see. You let me know when Mr. Hardiman comes down, and I'll stop what I'm doing and we'll deal with him, just so we're not just spinning our wheels. I I wonder if Mr. O'Neill was supposed to be here. And I just say that because he was struck through on the paperwork I received from the sheriff's department as if he was no longer going to be on the calendar.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting for I tried to call the deputy on the radio to see if he can, if he's on the way with, Hardiman. I'm gonna send him an email, see if he close to his computer. But as far as O'Neill, like I said, whenever I looked him up in the system this morning, I didn't see for him. I just see, one person located.
Yeah. He's on the paperwork that I have, like the first two pages that list out everyone. He's struck through as if he's OTB. And Justin Hardiman, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person. Never mind. But Mr. O'Neill was struck through as if he was being taken off today's calendar. So I don't know why. That JOW is the first time I've seen that. So he's not on. So far, he's not on tomorrow's calendar. But he's on my calendar for today. Is Mr. Daly?
Yes, he's right here.
Okay, let's deal with Mr. Daly.
All right, fine.
Mr. Daly,
Yes, sir.
you are on our calendar in what's called, you're in a position of what's called a fugitive from justice. And basically what that means is that another state has your arrest, and that state has indicated to the sheriff's department here, they wish to have you extradited, sent back to that. So there's a warrant apparently that's pending for your arrest out of your house in County, Alabama. And the warrant was issued in June of 2019 for failure to appear on a marijuana trafficking charge. You have a right to contest this, meaning if you believe that these charges are brought improperly or they don't exist, you can challenge that here. But the only thing that we would do is make sure that you are the person named in the warrant and that the charge actually exists. And that hearing would take place somewhere between now and 30 days from now, generally. If you believe that you are the person named in the warrant and that these charges are pending against you, you can waive that hearing and say, look, I just want to go back to Alabama and deal with this. Or if you believe that you can resolve it through hiring a lawyer in Alabama to deal with it, you may say, look, I'll just hire a lawyer there and I'll deal with it. If you were to go the route of the waiver, you would have essentially up to 90 days where they would have to come and get you. And if they don't come and get you, the sheriff's department here would release you at the end of that period. If you believe that, hey, you just want to get this thing done, you can sign the waiver today. And the sheriff's department will notify Alabama that you've signed the waiver, and that 90-day clock will start running today. Have you hired a lawyer to represent you on the charges in Alabama?
I had an attorney initially, and I think he dropped. He was dealing with the case for me at first, and he dropped the case unknowingly to me. And next thing I knew, I had a warrant. I didn't even know I was supposed to go to court down there. So I had an attorney initially working on the case, and for whatever reason, he dropped the case. And like I said, I never was notified that I was supposed to go to court.
You could also hire a lawyer to notify Alabama that you intend to come and deal with this, and that you're not running or fleeing or anything like that. And Alabama may decide to, instead of spending the time, money, and effort to come and get you, that they may decide to put you back on a calendar and then notify the sheriff's department that they can let you go.
And which option is that, sir?
It would be wherever the charges are pending in Alabama, because the sheriff's department here, they're only holding you as a courtesy for Alabama. And if Alabama tells the sheriff's department here that they don't, they don't want you or to release you, they will release you. The sheriff's department here will release you. But that's something that goes on between the people in Alabama and whomever you may hire. I've been a defense lawyer for several years. I've dealt with these issues before, and there are times where the jurisdiction that is asking for you, which is Alabama, Houston County, Alabama, if they know that you're going to come to court, spend the money to come get you. And I don't know anything about what they will or they will not do, but my job here is to kind of explain the whole process to you. You can tell me whether you wish to waive extradition or whether you wish to have a hearing to determine whether the warrant is valid. So do you know what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I want to wait. I want to get the situation resolved because I mean, at the current time, sir, I'm working, and for me to sit in here for 3 months or whatever, obviously I'm going to lose my employment and my family. My family's here in Atlanta, so I mean, for me to hire an attorney, I would have to. I mean, me being in this situation I'm in right now wouldn't help me to be able to hire an attorney. So I guess my only other option, I guess, is to waive it and for them to come. Whether they're going to come get me, I mean, it's still, you said they have up until 90 days to come get me, right?
Yes, and what you may want to consider is waiving the actual hearing, but also trying to hire a lawyer in Alabama to work the situation out there. Because if the lawyer in Alabama is able to work the situation out, then they'll just tell the Clayton County Sheriff's Department to release you. I mean, you still have to go down to court and deal with your charges down there.
Right.
But you won't be just sitting here waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
Do you want to sign the waiver?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so they're gonna have the waiver paperwork on that side. They're gonna have you to sign it, and then they're gonna send it to me, and I'll sign it, and then the clock will start running today. But you really should consider hiring a lawyer in Alabama to deal with this issue. Okay, I'm sorry, you broke up. I didn't hear you.
Just being this environment is very difficult to do so. I mean, but I'm gonna try to get a family member on the outside to try and look into hiring an attorney in Alabama for me.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Daly?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you go back.
Thank you.
The deputy, he's on his way with Hardeman.
Okay. With Mr. O'Neill, we may just have to deal with
Okay.
I can't, because I don't know All I have is just the bond order and I have his application for counsel. Those are the only pieces of paper that I have on here.
It goes Hardeman, Your Honor. Come on. You gotta keep your hands on that anyway.
Mr. Hardiman, you've been charged with one count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
Did you say no?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you working, Mr. Hardiman?
I was working on the street, yes, sir. I had a job out there, yes, I was, sir.
How much money were you making, either per
I
hour?
was making $11.50 an hour.
Okay, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 6th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive new information in the mail as to a court date.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Hardiman?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So, just tell Hardeman, you're gonna put him on the calendar tomorrow?
Yeah, Mr.
O'Neill, I'm sorry, O'Neill.
Yes, I'm going to, yes, I'll be here tomorrow, so I'm gonna make sure, make a request for him to be placed on, and make a request for his paperwork, so at least I can, because if he's a fugitive, I mean, it sounds like he knows where he's wanted from. However, I'm gonna be asked about the paperwork. Where's the paperwork?
Right.
So I'm gonna have to try to get my hands on that. So we'll just deal with him tomorrow.
You don't even have paperwork in the custody for me, because I had, my wife went down there to, take care of all the charges or whatever.
Right.
And they couldn't even find out the paperwork.
But like I said, it might not be Augusta, because whenever I.
It's in Augusta, that's it.
Well, the judge said he'll get the paperwork tomorrow for you, so you go back.
Oh, thank you.
And then the last one we have is Washington.
Yes.
Washington. Yeah, Raymond Washington.
Okay. Let me see, Mr. Washington, because I don't have.
You can tell me, I think I'm on it this morning.
You did okay, yeah, he whenever I looked at CPU rate this morning, Your Honor, there's two holes, one at Savannah and one at Chatham County.
Okay, and I don't, let's see. I think
You can take them back.
To
Where you get them from?
four.
Yeah, take them back to 4.
Take them four.
Where you take them back to wherever you got them from.
let me. Washington, but I did not have a bond order. But I can do a bond order on my side. Raymond, Washington.
Come on, Washington.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Mr. Washington, you were charged with one count of driving without a license. The bond for that is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. I already paid it this morning. I signed the papers this morning. I'm just waiting on the whole from Savannah.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
So yeah, that's why I don't have a bond order, because it looks like, I guess you were already paid. Okay, Mr. Washington, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 6th, but the date is gonna get waived upon your being released to where the holes are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions of me?
So basically I have to come up here for court, right?
Yes, but this is something that generally is, it can be, it's,
Can I pay it online?
well, it's probably gonna be a fine. It's probably gonna be something that you can pay in that way,
Okay, okay.
okay? Any other questions of me, sir?
No, sir, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, that's it.
All right, you have a good day. Thank you for your
Yes, sir, you too.